happens? What have you learned?
Hello guys, and welcome back to another one with us, the Review Bros, and today we're going to be reviewing a pre-workout called Exert by Athlea Nutrition, and it looks like a very nice, clean, clinical style pre-workout. So stay tuned. What exactly is it going to be offering as we cover the taste, price, label and the real world effects, and letting you know if it's worth it. But if you do like our videos and you're new here, please do hit the sub button, tick the bell icon, give the video a like, because we drop about 3 reviews a week. But let's get into this one. So, first segment, taste and mixability, and we've got the pleasure of trying out fresh orange flavour. They also sent us down lemonade, which I've got to say is very nice, but for the sake of this review, we're going to be rocking the fresh orange flavour. So, 23 grams serving amount has gone in. Mixability, gave it a stir a couple of minutes ago. Some bits have settled at the bottom, but it's about typical. You know, it's no worse than what you'd expect to see from a larger serving amount pre-workout, and generally, give it a bit of a swivel as you go, and it's no problem. So let's see how it tastes. Yeah, it's good. It literally tastes like an actual orange. You know, it doesn't taste artificial. Oh, it literally tastes like pretty close to fresh orange, I've got to say. Obviously, you know it's not, and you are aware you're drinking a pre-workout, don't get me wrong, but the fresh orange kind of naturalness is definitely there. It's a nice sweet orange flavour. Consider it's a stacked formula as well. I've got to say they've done very, very well. Let me formulate a score out of 10 for you in my mind. I'll have one more sip and I'll give you it. There is some very mild undertone of, like, you know, chemical-y kind of flavourings where you're obviously, like I said, you know it's a pre-workout, but that is very mild, guys. I've got to say, very mild. The orange flavour comes through very strong on top of that. So I'd be happy to give this an 8 out of 10 overall. I'd actually say it's almost enjoyable. But yeah, very strong first segment. Let's move into that price point. Okay, price time. So how much are you going to be paying for this pre-workout? Well, you head over to the official website shown down below, athleanutrition.com, where you can use our 10% discount code RB10. That will knock the price down to £34.19 for the tub, or £1.71 per serving, because it is a 40-20 serving container. Obviously, as you guys probably know, we always go on maximum serving, so it is going to be the 20 servings in this scenario for consistency's sake. So like I say, £1.71 per the serving. And I don't know if you guys are new here or not, but we do have a consistent price scale that measures how expensive pre-workouts are. And a 5 out of 10 is considered to be bang average on our pricing scale. This comes in at a 4.5 out of 10. So it's slightly more expensive than an average pre-workout on the market. So what we've got to do now is obviously determine what sort of pre-workout are we getting for that price point. Are we getting an above average pre-workout? So stay tuned and we'll find that out together as we cover the label and the effects. Okay, label time. So what exactly are we getting in this pre-workout? Like I mentioned before, it's a stacked 23 grams. So let's get in it from top to bottom. L-citrulline, 8 grams, which is a very nice dose, I've got to say. To be honest with you, 3 or 4 grams would do the job in terms of it being efficacious enough to do something. So 8 grams is well above and beyond that. Most people are happy with 6, 8 is fantastic. It's going to help to bump up nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream, widening those blood vessels, widening those veins, increasing blood flow and increasing nutrient delivery, and ultimately the pump. We love to see it. It's a nice staple ingredient. Same can be said for beta-alanine, another amino acid at 4 grams, above and beyond the normal here again. Normally I only like to see 3.2, so we've got 4 here, love to see it. It obviously gives you that itchy, tingly sensation when it kicks in, but the main reason it's in pre-workouts is for its endurance-based benefits, where it helps to buffer lactic acid, but obviously you have to build it up in your system first and reach that saturation point. And obviously at a larger dose you'll do that quicker. Then we've got betaine anhydrous. At the dose we look for 2.5 grams, very nice. A jack of all trades type ingredient, helps with power output, endurance and pumps. Then we move down to L-tyrosine at 2 grams. They've gone above and beyond yet again here. We normally only see about 1 gram, so double the norm. Another amino acid that's responsible for helping with your concentration and mood boosting benefits. Then we have nitrosogene, which is inositol stabilized arginine silicate at 1500 milligrams. So that's going to help to, again, alongside the L-citrulline, bump up nitric oxide levels further, and there should be some synergy between those two ingredients to obviously increase blood flow and pump. So it's going to be, well, it should be very juicy. Then we've got alpha GPC at 600 milligrams, another really, really nice dose. I'm loving these dosages, guys. These guys have done their homework, I've got to say, so far. That's going to help with your focus and concentration and athletic performance. And then we move down to caffeine, a registered version of natural caffeine from green coffee bean at 300 milligrams. So in terms of caffeine amount, a couple of energy drinks, about 3 strong cups of coffee. It's not to be sniffed at. It's probably a little bit lower than the typical amount you see in pre-workouts. You normally see maybe towards 350 as an average, 350 milligrams. And it's normally caffeine anhydrous that you see in pre-workouts. So this is natural caffeine. So what does that mean? It's going to come in a lot smoother than normal. So there won't be as much of an aggressive onset or any risk of, or less of a risk of a crash. So it should come in nice and smoothly and leave nice and smoothly. So that's why they've opted for that, I would presume. So that's obviously the main stimulant that's going to wake you up and get you moving. Then we've got L-theanine at 100 milligrams, which is another amino acid. It's often seen in sleep aids. It's a Marmite love it or hate it type ingredient. You know, some people don't like it because they see it as it takes away from the stimulants too much and can dampen the pre-workout's effects too much. But I think if it's done correctly and it's put in there at the right amount with the right ratio against the caffeine and other stimulants, it can definitely help in terms of channeling the stims more into a productive, dialed-in focus and a smooth onset of energy, with mitigating those negatives that can come with stimulants such as jitters. So yeah, it should hopefully help with that, and it should also help with a bit of an anti-crash mechanism as well, in terms of like when the caffeine's starting to wear off, that will help you ease down even more so. So yeah, it's looking very cool so far. Then we've got Infinergy as caffeine decaffeine malate, 80 milligrams. So 75% of that would be yielded actual physical caffeine. So I don't know what that would be, about 50 milligrams maybe in that realm. So that's obviously going to top the caffeine up to more towards what you would typically see in a pre-workout. Again, another anti-crash mechanism. As that natural caffeine starts to wean off, the Infinergy should start to sort of come in towards the end, on the back end of your training session, to lessen the chance of a crash and to help see you through those last few sets, hopefully. Then we've got Estrogen at 50 milligrams, which is a digestive aid. So it's going to simply help you get all of these ingredients through you as quickly and efficiently as possible. And that does wrap the label off, guys. What I've got to say about it, I think that it's looking like a fantastic stacked daily driver product. So let's see if it translates like that in the real world. Okay, let's talk real world effects of Exert pre-workout. In the several times we've used it, and I'd almost be doing these guys a disservice if I didn't say this, because it's clear to me that they're going down the clinical, all above board, healthy, you know, suitable for everyone kind of job here with the product. So it says on the back here, non-GMO and gluten-free, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial preservatives, no artificial colours, and no artificial flavours. All across the bottom there. So yeah, if you're one of these people that worries about those sorts of things, you know, if you're a drug tested athlete, or you're health conscious, or, you know, just anything along those lines, it's obviously going to be ideal for you. Anyway, let's actually get into the effects of the product, because that's ultimately what's going to determine whether you pick it up or not for that price point. So we'll start off like we always do with the beta alanine, and guys, it kicks in strong, and it might be expected. Obviously it's in there at 4 grams as a digestive aid, yada yada, it comes in hella strong. So on the tingle scale, I would say a good solid 8 out of 10 in terms of how much you feel it. It really does get you itching, it gets that sense of urgency there and gets you moving, which we've always said is important in non-stims and daily driver style pre-workouts, aka lower stim pre-workouts, because it gives the illusion of it kicking in, you know, like I said, sense of urgency, gets you off your sofa and gets you down the gym, right? And that's exactly what it does in this scenario. And it's just as well really, because the caffeine does not have that urgency effect, as I sort of touched on the label. It comes in very smoothly and healthily feeling. So if you're someone that likes that more natural caffeine type feeling, that less abrupt feeling, the non-crash feeling, then you'll like this one here, because it comes together exactly as you'd expect. It does feel strong, don't get me wrong. It feels like 300 milligrams of caffeine, but it just feels very smooth and controlled and usable, if you get what I mean. It doesn't have you jittering, buzzing around uncontrollably, nothing like that. So obviously, if you're in the market for a nice, smooth, healthy feeling energy type product, this would be the one for you without a doubt. Now, how long does the energy last? I would say about 2 hours, give or take, you know, maybe 2.5, but that's your lot. And you wouldn't really want it to last much longer than that, would you? When it's your gym session isn't going to last more than 2 hours, let's be realistic, unless you're crazy. But yeah, so it will see you through most gym sessions, let's be real. And then on the back end, like I said, there's no crash, it's a nice smooth come down, and you go about your day. It does not ruin your day. It doesn't appetite suppress you. It doesn't keep you up all night. Obviously that's person dependent, like I always say. Yeah, it's just a nice, smooth, healthy energy. And what does that mean? That means not only is it suitable for a lot of people, but it also means that it gives a chance for other elements to shine through, aka the focus and the pump. So let's touch on the focus next. And I would say that's very healthy feeling, switched on feeling, very productive, dialed in, like with a background effect of mood elevation. You do feel happy, healthy on this product. You just feel like you've taken something that's genuinely beneficial for you in a bodybuilding context, or in just a fitness context in general. You feel like you're actually doing yourself good.
Savage pumps in the gym and the bedroom. Wolf pump.
This is just a nice, predictable, consistent, healthy product that you know is moving you in the right direction towards your fitness goals. Whereas some of the highest in ones, like I touched on, they'll appetite suppress you, so you'll end up missing meals. They'll keep you up all night, ruin your sleep, ruin your day, put you in a bad mood, crash you off. You know, the list goes on. So yeah, it really is dependent on what your goals are and what you want to get from your pre-workout. So yeah, a nice, healthy, focused, smooth experience this one is. So let's touch now on the last element we look for, and I'd have to say probably the best element of this pre-workout, and that's the pumps. And they are nasty. They would rival some straight up pump formula pre-workouts that are just specifically and only trying to get you pumped. This is up there with some of them. You know, comes to be expected based on the label, but also because you're not overstimulating yourself, so you're obviously allowed then to focus more on your training, get inside the muscle, do the exercise properly, you know, contract the muscle and build up those pumps in a healthy kind of way, rather than just flapping around and pumping the weight like a nutcase. So yeah, I would naturally say off the back of that it's more suitable for people that are going down the healthy route, probably out of all the different professions within the gym, more bodybuilding orientated because of the pump, endurance and power type ingredients. And obviously I know there's other realms of weightlifting, you know, such as strongman and powerlifting, where you might not want to get pumped because it might hinder your lift. So yeah, I would say it's more going down that route. Like I sort of touched on, there's no negatives to it whatsoever. I think it's suitable for most people. I think that beginners would probably be okay with it, but I would, to err on the side of caution as a beginner, I would say start on a half serving, aka the 1 scoop, not 2. And I would say intermediate people, fine. I would say people that take training seriously and want a genuinely healthy pre that's going to help them get closer to their fitness goals, yes. Stim junkies, no. People on a budget, it probably would be out of your budget because it's more expensive than a typical pre on the market. So it's not particularly a budget-friendly pre-workout, but that's not the audience they're going for. They're going more down the premium stacked route based on the label. And I do think what you're getting in terms of the price point is very, very fair. I do think that you're getting much better than an average pre-workout for the slightly more expensive than an average pre-workout price. So yeah, I think that you are getting good bang for buck. You're getting good value for money here. You're not getting an absolute bargain, don't get me wrong, but I do think that you are getting more than what you should for that price point. I do think it's very fairly priced. So yeah, guys, as daily drivers go, this is up there with some of the best of them. and when we next drop our top 10 best daily driver list, this might edge into that top 10 potentially. I'd have to check through, but it's definitely going to stay fresh in my mind as one of the stacked top tier premium ones. Naturally, it would fall into our buy it category. So between shortlist, avoid, buy it. Like I said, worth the price point. It's ticking all the boxes we look for to a decent degree. I would say if you want order of best to worst, I would say pump best, focus just behind that, energy just behind that, but that does come with the nature of daily driver style pre-workouts. So yeah, I think I've covered it all. I don't really have anything negative to say about this one. I really enjoy it, and I'll definitely come back to it again for myself down the line outside of this review. So yeah guys, I think that does wrap everything off, but let me know down below what you think of this pre-workout. You know, would you buy it? What else do you want to see us review on the channel? All of the usuals, and as always, stay stimmed.